Shalom, giving all praise to Yahweh Bashem, Shai Bashem, Rakakodah, Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. And I'm going to title this video, Our Woman Can't Take These Curses and Low Self-Esteem. So I was watching this video and let me do this. Let me put the closed caption, subtitles. I'm gonna pause it. This is fair use, fair use. So I'm just gonna let you listen. The videos are women really this gross, meaning Jake women. There's a reason why they're all messed up. There's a reason why there's so many diseases going around. You know, in the Jake community, like you had videos of Houston, Texas, and other parts, Atlanta, because they sleep around, as we know. And that's why you got a lot of these Jake men. What's this dude? He plays for the Commanders, which used to be the Washington Redskins, and I don't keep up with the NFL, the AFC that much. I watch it at the end of the season, so I'll be watching games at the end of the season. But after the game, somebody helped me out. What is this dude's name? I watched the video, a couple of videos on him. And after his team won, the Washington Commanders, he gave his white woman, Edomite woman, looked like an Edomite woman, a ring, proposed to marry, and the Jake woman just lost it. You know, these guys make a certain amount of money. They don't want no hood rats, so they get an Edomite woman. And the mass majority of these unions with Jake men and Edomite women, they're they're great relationships that last. They grow old together. Sometimes it doesn't happen, but you already know if he got with a black woman, there's gonna be trouble. There's some hoochie mama, hood rat chick that's cute, and that's what they do. They go for the money. They don't want to work. They want to get a Jake. You know, somebody play for the NBA. You know. Oh, another thing. The NBA draft. What people have been noticing through the years is these top candidates for the draft of that particular year, they'll either have a so-called Edomite woman. I say so-called because some of those so-called Edomite women are Jake, or they'll have somebody close to it. They'll have one of the Latin tribes, or they'll have like a sister that had maybe a black, so-called black father and a so-called white mother, and they kind of look they look Latino, or they look close to white, and they have successful marriages. Yeah, I'm watching this on Alex Jones on Roku TV. You got to get Roku. You're gonna say I should have listened to her a long time ago. They're going through this terrorist attack. It was a terrorist attack. Now it's not a terrorist attack, and damn, this nigga crazy. Anyway, if your eyes are open, the Most High Yahweh Bashem Shai gave you the eyes south. You can see anything. But anyway, I'm sorry. Let me move on. Anyway, you know, in Atlanta, certain parts of Texas, the numbers are high with, you know, men and women and sexually transmitted diseases. STDs, because our women jump from man to man, and even on top of that, they'll have sex with a man in the morning, have sex with another man in the afternoon behind the other dude's back, and they won't wash when they have sex the first time, and then the second time they don't wash. Then they'll go home, They don't take baths. They don't change their drawers for maybe 4 or 5 days, and then they can't stand their own funk, and they go look. I dealt, I'm Jake. I came up around Jake, and the Jake woman got a little. And I saw that when I was young, man. Hey, a woman with low self-esteem. She don't want to work. She don't want to do. That's why she said, I want a man that's gonna give me this. I want that. And then so many videos are coming out on Esau and the black woman. That's a topic right there. Esau and Eve, or Esau and the black woman. You have watched videos, witnessed videos of a Jake woman, dude take a Jake woman out. He go to the bathroom. She done ordered 12 different fucking meals to have it put in a doggy bag. Oh, I gotta feed my kids and my girlfriend. And she'll do it when he goes to the bathroom. And he got to pay for all that shit. And then you wonder why Jake want to get with the Edomite woman. I'm going to say this to y'all. If you get an Edomite woman, look, that's on you, brother. Just make sure you get the right wholesome Edomite woman. As Anton, what's his name? Anton Daniel said, he's talking about the same with the brother that played for the Commanders. He said he got him a wholesome white woman. Yeah, you got to get you a wholesome white woman. But what you want to do is get a woman. You want to get a Jake woman that looks just like a Edomite woman, but acts like but really is Jake. Like I'm giving you an example. A lot of the Irish women are Jakes. If they're rhythmic, if they got that flavor to them, they might look like Edomites, but they're Jakes. A lot of Italian women, Polish women from Eastern Europe, and even Western Europe. Remember, you got to mix. Jake is scattered. Have you forgot the scriptures? Jake is scattered among the nations, man. The scriptures in Jeremiah 12:9, it says, we like unto the speckled bird, a bird of many colors. Like this brother right here, this is his video, JR Wisdom. You can see that he got his father's Jake, probably Jake, most likely, definitely Jake, and his mother's probably an Edomite. You can see the Edomite, like you look at him, you might, you can see that he either white man, maybe of Italian, or he's a black man, so-called black man with a black father, white mother, vice versa. Let's look at my man Patrick Mahomes. He got his father. Does his father play pro baseball? I believe he did. So he came out in a good home. His mother appears to be an Edomite. He has a woman that appears to be an Edomite, and he's very light-skinned, but you can see that he's mixed. So anyway, this right here, okay, it says Brazilian, so it's cut up, right? Brazilian waxer describes woman's bad hygiene. Yeah, you don't get a Brazilian wax and you ain't took a bath in 5 days and you ain't changed your drawers. But it's a low self-esteem because you can't handle these curses. Okay, so it's his thoughts. Okay, so he gives you 2 clips. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna let it play. Fair use, fair use, fair use. So watch and read. They're not changing their underwear. They're not changing they're not bathing. They're not using soap. And this is another black woman. This is obviously she changes her underwear. Obviously she takes a bath, Now, dermatologists say this. You know, people take baths every day. Dermatologists say you don't got to take baths every day or showers every day. You can take a bath in the shower every other day, sometimes once every 3 days. But if you're working in the tar pit, you're gonna have to take you're working in a job, or you were out at the gym. You took a bath, whatever. You go to the gym, you got to take a bath because it's your bacteria. What you get, that funk or whatever, is from bacteria. That's why you're able to take food. A lot of people don't notice. You take food, like when we come back, you know, myself and the Apostle Gabar and Bishop Sakaran, and we'll get food from the outside. And what I'll do is, as soon as I go to eat, I'll have a couple of entrees for the week, because I freeze stuff, you know, during the course of the week. I'll if it's, let's say it's 9 o'clock, I look at the clock and I know, okay, it's a countdown for me to put this food in the refrigerator or the freezer. So I would go no later than, if it's 9 o'clock, 10:30, I got to put the food in the freezer. Once you have food out for 2 hours or more, that food has been taken over by bacteria. That's why Jake keep getting sick. They get colds, they get stomach issues, because they don't know how to deal with. They don't know how to store their food. If you put food that's been cooled down, you put it in the refrigerator, you got to eat that food inside of 3 days. If you put it in the freezer, you can go for a month or more. If you freeze the food, then what you do is you take the food out, you thaw it for half of the day, the whole day, 12 hours, whatever. And but in the refrigerator, it's only good for 3 days. And you can't just put hot food in the refrigerator. You got to let it cool down. You know, if you make like a big thing of mac and cheese, you got to cut it. If you want to put for the week, Jake, they'll make a big tray of mac and cheese and they'll put it in the refrigerator and they'll take no, that's going. You got to cut it up. You might have to cut it up into 20 different portions and then put it in the refrigerator or the freezer or whatever the case may be. And see, they don't teach you that because he wants you to stay sick. They don't teach you that. They don't. People, Jake, in your hood, wherever you go with, they're always getting sick because they don't know how to. First of all, they don't know proper hygiene. Their eating habits, and plus they're eating unclean foods any damn way. So Jake is all fucked up. However which way you want to look at it, Jake is just fucked up from the curses. But the Israelite man can take these curses. They deal with the curses. We under the curses, deal with it, man. Gird up thy loins, as that Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai said to Job. Gird up thy loins like a man. So these women can't take these curses, man. That's why they're looking for a 1% Jake. he might like I said, he might play for the NBA, NFL, the AFC. He might be a world champion boxer. Cause they want that easy life. They want luxury, man. I believe in luxuries, inside joke. Anyway, so the ones that can't get it, that are raised up in the hood, they just don't feel good about themselves. They have a low self-esteem. So let's listen to this or watch it, read it. They're not bathing. They're not. Now, how you going to go to a Brazilian wax place and you got drawers that been on your ass for 5-6 days? And you ain't took a bath in 5 or 6 days. You think somebody want to do a Brazilian wax on you? They do it because they have a low self-esteem. They have nothing to live for. They're not being, and they're disgusting. You black women are fucking this. Not all of you, but the majority of you are fucking disgusting, man. And you mad now because ain't no man want to deal with you. Ain't nobody dreaming. A Jake man dream woman is not a black woman from the fucking hood. They said they're not bathing. They're not, and then you tell them, look, bitch, don't be coming in here smelling like a Sasquatch. I didn't say that to be funny, but it came out like San Miguel said, Tahar is naturally funny. You gotta have fun with this, man. Hey, that's my spirit, you know. At no time you're never gonna hear me sound like Alexander Scorby. Look him up. They're not bathing. They're not using soap. When they do bathe, wait a minute, that's a fucking bird bath. How you gonna put water on your ass and not no soap? Even Red Fox, when he used to do stand-up comedians, right? And they had when Richard Pryor had them albums. Red Fox started that. There was one bit you can probably find on YouTube. He said, "How you gonna go to sleep not knowing that you washed your ass?" Anyway. Okay, this comment says, if they're not changing their underwears, then I would think that they aren't bathing. Of course. But so many people got upset with me. How you gonna get upset when she's telling you the truth? Upset with me when I had started on TikTok years ago, and my first video went viral talking about when you come in to your waxing appointment, it's supposed to be, specifically for Brazilian waxing, that you had intimate activities before, and they'll go from man to man. They'll go from man to man. I remember years ago, they had a boxing tournament way upstate. What was that? It wasn't Albany. Utica. That's where the guy got beat to death. Utica, way up fucking state. Like from New York City up there, you talking, I don't know, 5 hours drive. And they had a big. It was like a New York. It was like a New York version of the Olympics. It was called the Empire State Games. And when we would go up there, they would give you the uniforms. You had these nice uniforms. You would go down to the printing shop and you put your name on the back. I mean, it was fun, man. They fed us good. And you would fight in this tournament. You know, you would either box, you would do wrestling, gymnastics, whatever. And they would use, I forget the hotel. But I think they had it in different places. But they ran out of money, so it was going for a while. But anyway, you would go up there. We would go up there to lose the fight just to deal with meeting chicks up there. And this is when I was young. But these women from the town, they know that these athletes were coming out of town, and they would just go and hang out with them. And we had all dorm rooms. And I didn't do that, but certain dudes that was on my team, they used to find a chick, take her to the dorm room, pop her, get the number, say, I'm going to call you, baby, never call a woman back. And they would do that shit year after year. These ghetto gaggers. And then they'll go with their man like they ain't did nothing, man. But then they'll get mad because you get with a wholesome white woman. That's not my words. That's Anton Daniel's words. He said he got him a wholesome white woman. So you just can't call her a white woman. You got to call her a wholesome white woman. Which she could be Jake. So let's read. You come and you don't bathe. You don't change. you don't change your underwear. There's we know, so we have a physician that comes on that I stitched, I don't know, stitch, I guess it's something else, a physician, giving starts on people who don't change their underwears for days because they publicly agreed to do the servo survey. And we've been saying this. And by the way, Esau studies Jake. They know you inside out, upside, backward and forwards and every which way. Because Esau does studies. They study the Chinese. They study the Japanese. They study black women, white women. They do surveys. So they know you better than you know yourself. And I've been saying this my entire career. People don't, she's talking about black women, people don't bathe. They don't change their underwear. Now, if you don't pay for a couple of days, if you're going to go in for a Brazilian wax, whatever it's called, let me wash my ass and put some new shit on so the niggas don't talk about me. And they ain't going to say it in your face. They're going to talk behind your back. They say, this bitch stink. Change their underwears. They don't wash. They don't use soap. You got a stupid ass commercial. Bear with me for a minute. And I got some precepts for you. Don't use soap. They don't use soap. And then there's always the poop. Always the poop. Poop butts, meaning they got little miniature shits all entangled in the weaving of they have a low side. They can't deal with the curses. That's the thing. See, we deal with it, man. We under the curses. We know we under the curses, but we deal with it, man. You know, when we get this man, we gonna pay him back, right? Our women cannot deal with these curses, man. That's why they fall apart. It says, and then there's always the poop butts on top of the. Well, I would refuse to. I said, look, madam, I refuse. I would have a sign up. Make sure you wash your ass before you set up an appointment. I would just have a sign up. I said, make sure you wash your ass before you come in for an appointment because you will be turned away. But then what's going to happen? You're going to have some hoochie mamas come up in there wanting to fight, tear the place up. What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about? I took a bath early this week. I took a bath early this morning. Washing on top of, let me see. Not washing on top of not changing the underwears. You see how it's all connected. My man shaking his head. And then they show up for appointments. You have no self-esteem. Let me say that again. You have no self-esteem. House looking like 5 tornadoes hit that shit. Get their Brazilian wax. Now, why are they getting Brazilian wax? They got hair, you know, or to be in public or places where people find out that they don't have great personal care. So, yes. Now this is the other one. She ain't gonna. Let me see. Yes. Yep. All right. I don't want no one to no top away what I'm about to say. But let's start taking care of that personal hygiene before you lay on my bed for a wax there. Well, I will refuse to do it. There's no reason why you have cottage cheese built up in the front and balls in the balls in the back. You know what the balls are, right? Balls in the back. Okay, dookie butt. Go to the bathroom, start washing before washing your ass before you come in for your appointment, because at this point it is highly unexcusable. Y'all are 20 plus years old. There's no reason why I'm seeing these things when I'm I'm sorry, let me bring this back. There's no reason why I'm seeing these things when I'm... Another thing y'all do, this is in the hood, be 3 in the afternoon. You go to the store with your house shoes on, with your pajamas on. You know, you got the hoodie pajama, and you know the bitch been sleeping all day and she just waking up 2:15. 2:15. Let me see how much food stamps I got. And you go on with your food stamps, and you're gonna get some junk food. You're gonna get some munchies. Move here. I'm not wiping you down, but I will tell you to excuse yourself, to go take care of yourself. Serving that, he's shaking his head, that somebody you should be embarrassed. They need to be embarrassed for taking... Well, they don't understand the concept of embarrassed because they have a low self-esteem because they can't deal with these curses. For even offering... Okay, there's another... But that's all I'm going to give you, because that's all you're going to get. Anyway, thank you, Kanai. That's in my Kanai voice. That's all you're going to get. Okay, so let's come over here, right? So I did some research. I go to Google, where I put in low self-esteem among black women in America. Okay, the relationship between self-esteem and black women in America is complex with some. That's why you have these diseases. You deal with a Jake woman, you better go with a sister, brother. Don't deal with no white woman. You get with a Jake woman, listen to the dude, you wind up with a fucking disease. With some studies suggesting low self-esteem and other suggesting high self-esteem. Okay, low self-esteem. Okay, low self-esteem. It says social class, women of lower social class, women under the curses, which proved they were Israelites. The fact that they have low self-esteem proves that we're Israelites, may be at higher risk for poor mental health outcomes. That's why these bitches get in the street fights. 2 women they be fighting like men too. You have black women that fight men and beat men, including low self-esteem, because it's a low self-esteem. You're supposed to be, when a man says, I got a strong black woman, this is what Dick Gregory said. Jake men will say, I got a strong black woman, and if he got a nice whip, a nice car, he refers to his car as ain't she beautiful? He'll refer to his car as a beautiful woman of ain't she beautiful, right? But to a woman, you don't want to have a strong black woman. You want to have a feminine woman, a womanly woman. So y'all fucked up, man. She's opinionated. You don't want an opinionated woman. Okay, some factors that can contribute to low self-esteem includes an unhappy childhood, because you came up in the hood. You didn't have shit. You go to school, maybe your white woman counterparts, they dress better, they do this, you know. So it's psychologically messes your ass up. Poor academic performance and ongoing stressful life events. Ongoing stressful life events are the curses. Some strategies to promote self-esteem include positive affirmation. Studies have shown that black girls are more likely to experience lower self-esteem and inadequacy than their white counterparts. And they always compare you to the so-called white woman. This can lead to various adverse outcomes, including depression, anxiety, and body image issues. That's why you go to the hood, you see a woman that's black as tar, and she got a bleach blonde wig on, because they want to be white. You ever, if you're in the Bronx or in Manhattan or Brooklyn, well, mainly the Bronx, Manhattan, where Jake is in the hood, Spanish Harlem or whatever. Anytime you pass by a beauty parlor, like a Dominican beauty parlor, the pictures on the glass, it'll be white women. In other words, they're telling you, if you come into my beauty parlor, I will make you look just like the white woman. Do it yourself. Go to the hood, go to any hood where Dominicans are, even Puerto Ricans, and they'll have the beauty part, all of them. They always got a picture or two of straight up white woman with blonde hair. So they say, oh, she can make me look like a white woman. I'm going there. So let me come over here. Okay, what race is most likely to be low income? And if you low income, that means you're under a curse. U.S. poverty rate in the United States as of 2023 by race and ethnicity in 2023, 17.9 or 18% of black people living in the United States. And see, we're talking about among all races now, right? So that's a big number. Living in the United States, we're living below the poverty line. Some of us live right at the poverty line. Some of us live a little bit over the poverty line. You got the blue collar workers and so forth, compared to 7.7% of white people that year. The total poverty rate in the United States, U.S., across all races and ethnicities was 11.1%. Well, Esau's saying, no, you guys are doing great. You're not impoverished. But go to like a Scarsdale and drive through there. You and your black girlfriend, you'll be pulled over. Okay, so now I didn't even know about this. Okay, let me do this. It says the self-esteem of African American women. More importantly, is that the inability to adapt to stress. Stress comes from curses. Deuteronomy 28 leaves a person overwhelmed. Bear me for a minute. Leading to depression and consequently to low self-esteem. Help black women find self-esteem. Well, the only way she can find self-esteem is esteem when she's in the kingdom. That's under the curses. This further proves that we're under these curses. And the Jake men that wakes up to this truth, they man up. So a woman can't take these. They can't deal with these curses. Okay, so now let me give you now. The video that I showed you, right? Now, this is why you have so many diseases among certain areas of Jake. You know what I'm going to do? Let me do this. How am I going to phrase this? A list of top 10, shoot. I'm sorry. Let me do this again. Top 10 states of STDs. Okay, this is the research now, right? The top 10 states with the highest rates of sexually transmitted diseases. Because Edomites get it in just as much as we get it in. But their STD, sexually transmitted disease rate, they're not going to make this list. Now let's look at these places. These 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Let me open it up. You got to get a black woman. Don't listen to that blockhead Umar Johnson, man. Even though he says a lot of good things. I want the list. Give me the list. Let me come back. Louisiana, that's Jake. Mississippi, Jake. Alaska, Alaska. People say the 7 used to say those are Japhet. No, the people of Alaska are Gadites. South Dakota, that's Gad. Georgia, Jake. Alabama, Jake. North Carolina, Jake. South Carolina, Jake. What city has the highest STD? What city has the highest STD rate in the U.S.? Philadelphia, Jake. Jake. Watch out for them girls in Philly. What is the number one STD in America? What's the hardest STD to catch? The risk of acquiring specific STDs from one instance of unprotected sex. So you got disease, HIV. Then you got gonorrhea. So there you have it. Like I said, okay, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. Let me do this. Okay, the top 10 states with the highest rates of sexually transmitted diseases are Mississippi, Louisiana, Alaska, Gad, South Carolina, Jake, South Dakota, I'll say Gad, some Jake, Alabama, Jake, Georgia, Jake, Arkansas, Jake, New Mexico, a lot of the Latin tribes, North Carolina, Jake. CDC reported that more than 2.5 million cases of chlamydia, gonorrhea, and syphilis were reported in the United States. That's 2.5 million, the most, and there's some that don't report it. You know, they just deal with it. They sick, but they ain't gonna go to the doctor until it's too late. The most common nationally not notifiable STI in 2023 was chlamydia, with 1 million, more than 1.5 million cases reported. It said Philadelphia, PA has the highest STD rate among U.S. cities. Philadelphia is a chocolate city. This is a damn shame. So now, let me give you the precepts, right? Now, for you guys that say, some of you guys say we in a new covenant, which we're not. Because if we was in a new covenant as a people, we wouldn't have these diseases. And we're going to come into the new covenant when the kingdom comes. But it's going to start with the elect. Let me see. See, when you get with these women, let's say they clean themselves or regularly. Let's say this Jake woman that you're dealing with has somewhat of a high self, and you got to check your woman. You got to tell your woman, look, look, I dealt with women where, I can't deal with you because you're on your period. They'll get mad. I can't see you for and actually it's more than 7 days. Y'all thought it was 7 days. It's more than 7 days. If you have your period for 4 days, the clock starts when you're clean, when it's out of your system. Then you count 7 days. So if she has a period for 4 days, the next time you can deal with her 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You got to wait 11 days. You got 11 days. This is why we have more than one wife. And then if you were really keeping the laws, like IUIC, keep the laws, you would have, do you guys, you have a husband and wife in IUIC. Do they have 2 houses? No, I doubt it. They ain't going to say, well, I'm going to make sure, we got $155 million. I'm going to make sure all you brothers that are married, you get 2 houses. That shit ain't happening. So all that bullshit about, you keep the laws, brother. Keep the laws. Where your fringes at? It says, and if any man's seed of copulation, sperm, go out from him, then he shall wash all his flesh in water, meaning soap and water, and be unclean until the evening. If you have sex with a woman, which is the case, you have sex with a woman, seed of copulation, you bathe yourself, she bathe herself, and you're both unclean, so you can't go to the temple. So guys telling you, oh, you can have sex on the Sabbath, they're a bunch of blockhead idiots. They're idiots. It says 17 verse, and every garment and every skin whereon is the seed of copulation shall be washed with water and be unclean until the evening, because it's a form of contaminants. Now I started this thing off with the food. If you got food that you purchase, you let it cool down, you put it in the refrigerated part, not the freezer. If it goes 4 days, you got to throw it out. It says, depending on the food, it says in every garment and every, I read that. Uh, 18 verse, the woman also with whom men shall lie with seed of copulation, they shall both bathe themselves in water and be unclean until the evening. And if a woman have an issue, and her issue in her flesh be blood, y'all know what that means, she shall be put apart 7 days. That means you can't stay in the same, well, one of y'all sleep on the couch. No, because the bed, she's sleeping on the bed's going to be unclean. If she goes in the kitchen, anything she touches, you're going to be unclean. It says, and if a woman have an issue, and her issue in her flesh be blood, she shall be put apart 7 days. You put her in the kingdom, you're going to have a separate house where she's going to stay at. And you're going to jump from castle to castle, from house to house, dealing with different women. And whosoever touches her shall be unclean until the evening. But if you have sex with her, you're unclean for 7 days. And everything that she layeth upon in her separation shall be unclean. Everything also that she sitteth upon shall be unclean. And whosoever touches her bed shall wash his clothes and bathe himself in water and be unclean until the evening. Now Christians say the law is done away with. If you know what, Christians do certain things that are contained in the law. It says in whosoever toucheth anything that she sat upon shall wash his clothes and be himself and bathe himself in water and be unclean until evening. So this is going to apply in the kingdom, and the nations are going to. An Edomite man, an Edomite woman can't get together if she's on a period, right? Or on a Sabbath day or something like that. That's why they're going to learn the laws. We're going to be the priests. You got the Levitical priests, but then all the tribe men are going to be priests. And our job is to teach them the laws. It says, 23rd verse, and if it be on her bed or on anything thereon she sitteth. Now you guys are claiming that you're keeping the laws. You got to live on the farm somewhere. You got to regulate everything. You might sit down on a chair. You might go to a restaurant and sit down. You don't know if a woman had a period was sitting down there. The food that you eating was cooked up by a man that had sex earlier that day. So he's unclean. She might have, a waitress brought the food to you. She's unclean. So whatever you eat is unclean. So, and then you go to the temple, call yourself going to the temple, talking about it's the Sabbath. I'm righteous. Y'all don't know, man. And so when he touches it, he shall be unclean until the evening. 24th verse. And if any man lie with her at all, and her flowers be, give me a second, and her flowers be upon him, he shall be unclean 7 days, and all the bed whereon he layeth shall be unclean. And if a man lay with her at all, and her flowers be upon him. So we're gonna read up into the 29th verse. So let me open this up. Let's look up the word flowers. Nada, impurity, filthiness, menstruous, that's your period, set apart, impurity, because you were set, a woman is set apart, a ceremonial impurity. And if you touch anything, you are impure until the evening that she touched. Or if you lay with her, you're unclean for 7 days. Of menstruation, impure thing, of idolatry, immorality, meaning spiritual. You follow another religion. That's you're unclean. You know. Separation, flowers, menstruous. Now the reason, let me do this. Let me open this up. Let me go to this. Flowers is mentioned 2 times. Same chapter, Leviticus 15:33. And of her that is sick, of her flowers, and of him that hath an issue, of the man and of the woman, and of him that lieth with her, that is unclean. So men become unclean, women become unclean. So let me do this. I already know what it is, but I'm gonna just put in flower. Flower. It's 20 times. I want it in the New Testament. And a man that died cut off eyes and give it a heart, and all the increase of thine house shall die, and the flower of the age Okay, this is what I wanted. 1 Corinthians 7, verse 36. But if any man think that he behave himself uncomely toward his virgin, if she pass the flower of her age, and need so require, let him do what he will. He sinneth not. Let them marry. So let's look up some words. We're gonna look up the word virgin, and we're gonna look up the word flower. So flower, the word flower is was it nada in the Hebrew? Flower means menstrual impurities, because your body has a constantly be. It's like a woman's body automatically cleans itself from the inside, so she can have babies. All right, let me see. They have himself. Okay, so virgin right here is parthenos, which means the Hebrew equivalent. See, in order to understand these scriptures, you got to have, part of your doctrine is you got to know some Hebrew and some Greek. All right. So virgin is parthenos. Parthenos is the Hebrew equivalent would be a batwala, a woman that has never been touched by a man. Now, when you go to Matthews 1, the word there for virgin is parthenos. That word shouldn't be there. I'll give you the other word in a minute. Now, Apostle Ramlab, it starts with an N. He can help me out. And he showed me it, and I said, that's good, but you got to do too much explaining. I'm going to give you the word that should be in Matthew 1 should not be, the word should not be parthenos. I'm going to give you the word in a minute. That's why in the prophecy in Isaiah, the word there is what is it? Ayalama, which means young. It means young in a feminine sense. She could be a woman that never been touched. She could be a woman with a toddler, maybe a 2-year-old. She's still considered a Ailama, young woman. So now let's look up the word flower. Flower. Give me a second. Beyond the bloom or prime of her life. That's when she goes from being a girl to a woman. It's called puberty. Overripe, plump, and ripe. What does it mean by plump? You start to see her shape start to grow, and so in a greater danger of defilement of a virgin. So in the kingdom, you're gonna get, if you're 18, 20, 25, or whatever, you can get women that are 12 years old, 13, 11 if a period comes in, and you're gonna have to go to the father, through the father. That's why we said they got him young, and these clowns, and they got all emotional about it because they don't know the scripture. They're following some metu netta. And we African, and you ain't using none of that wisdom in your everyday life. All right. So now, give me a second. Let me do this. Let me see. Damsel. I hope I'm saying. I think I spelled it right. Damsel. I could have put in girl. Damsel. I went in the New Testament. Okay, this is what I want. Mark 5:39 And when he was come, this Yahushai, he saith unto them, why make ye this a dough, and weep? The damsel is not dead, but sleepeth. And she was dead. And they laughed at him because they said, you can't see that she's dead. She ain't breathing. No, but she was asleep. When you die, you sleep. So let me look up the word damsel. 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 A young child, a little boy, a little girl, infant. I'm sorry. This would be. This could be in that place, but there was another word. Let me do it this way. I'm sorry. Let me do it this way. Let me do it this way. And there's a word that Apostle Ramla went into. So this was, I don't know, a couple of years. I said, well, explain what when you go to this book and you go back to Jofi. I said, there's too much explaining to me. Okay, let me do this. I'm sorry. Let me go to Mark 7. Okay, let's deal with women. Let's see what it says. I haven't gone through this in a while. Okay, I believe this is the word. Okay, the word is, I'll let you hear it.
Strong's G 1135, Gunay. Gunay.
A woman of any age, whether a virgin, Bathwala, or married, might have the toddler in a bun in the oven, or a widow, a wife of a betrothed wife of a betrothed husband, a betrothed woman. It says a woman of any age, whether virgin or married. What consummates marriage? Sex. So when Mary was pregnant, could she still be called a virgin? Yes, but you had to use this word, not Batwala. Go Nate. Let me let you hear it again.
Strong's G 1135, Gunay. Gunay.
Gunay or Gonay. That's the best way to break it down. So when they go into Isaiah, matter of fact, let me do that. Isaiah 7:14, if I'm not mistaken. Isaiah 7:14. Okay, therefore the Lord himself shall give you a sign. Behold, a virgin. The word there is Ailama, which means young woman. The Greek equivalent would be Gune or Gone. It says a woman of any age, whether it be a virgin, whether it be a young woman, whether it be an old woman, whether it be a widow. So the word here is a young woman, whether she had sex or not. The Christians would say, oh no, it's an actual virgin. Nope. It was talking about an actual virgin. The word there for virgin in the Hebrew would be Batwala. And the word in Matthew 1 for virgin, the word should be Gune or Gone. And bear a son and shall call his name Emmanuel. Nobody ever called him Emmanuel. This would be a title. Nobody called him, the angel didn't call him Emmanuel. Nobody, because mother and father didn't call him Emmanuel. So this is just a title. And it simply means, matter of fact, let me open it up in the Hebrew. It's people say it's I'm Nawa Allah. I'm Nawa Allah. I'm Nawa Allah. Let's break it down. Okay, Allah is God. I'm is with. Now is us. With us, God. See, Christians can't, unless you're a scholar. So Christians say, no, it's an actual virgin. No, it means the same thing. Matthew's 1 and Isaiah 7 and 14 mean the same. No, it does not. And you challenge them on the Hebrew. That's why you think vocab be going in the books. I mean, the Greek word is this and the Hebrew word is that. Why you think these Christians are now saying Yeshua HaMashiach? Because of us. They had to up their game. Anyway, with that, I went long. Please forgive me. On to the next. Shalom.